It's the same
Okay.
for everyone.
Okay.
The difference is the options you have in terms of special government promotions,
Okay.
right? So if American wants to come here and set up a company, someone from UK, someone from Ghana, from China, wherever it is, the process is the same, but they just the type of corporate promotions they have available are going to be different. So since you mentioned Americans, everyone knows they have the Treaty of Amity, where it's a Thai government promotion with the U.S. where they can own up to 100% of the shares. But when you start the company, right, the process of first you set up a Thai majority company first, right, with foreign ownership, and then you have to apply for the promotion once the company is set up. So all the requirements of setting up a company are going to be pretty much the same. The only difference is with the shareholders. And it's, again, it looks daunting. There's a lot of paperwork to sign, but that's what we're here for. We take care of that.
Hey, welcome back to my channel. And I have Cleveland here once again to show y'all what is going on in Thailand, what is legal in Thailand. We have Br'Er Legal Advisory. Cleveland, you can introduce yourself again.
Okay, great. So I'm Cleveland English, the director for Br'Er Legal and Br'Er Advisory. So we're an offshore corporate advisory specializing in setting up companies for people here in Thailand and offshore to help minimize your taxes and to expand your business globally. Here in Thailand, we have Br'Er Legal as part of our group, and that is a corporate law firm. We focus, again, on matters of setting up different businesses, helping people purchase property here smartly. We also help with visas and work permits of the type that you would need when you live here or you set up a business here. So visas are tied like non-immigrant B for having a company and that sort of thing, as well as accounting and services tied to setting up a company and running it.
Awesome. So you have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of busy, but
yeah. Okay. I get a lot of questions about the DTV visa and like just the requirements. But I know we were talking earlier. Can you give like your tips on like how to go about getting the DTV visa?
Okay. So there's two different types primarily. There's the type, or say the most common type. And first, let me preface this by saying I don't do a lot with the DTV visa because it's not designed for us. So we're a corporate law firm. We set up companies for people that are going to be here in Thailand. The DTV is for people who are working overseas. They're remote workers, or they want to come here to Thailand and maybe learn something. Thailand calls it, the soft power. So maybe you want to learn Muay Thai, maybe you want to learn Thai cooking. And the DTV visa is set up to allow you guys to do that on your own from outside Thailand. So when you come here, it's already squared away and you're good. So there's two types. There's the one where you have, where it's remote work. And then there's another where maybe you have a class. And the biggest thing I would say is do as much of this as you possibly can on your own. Okay, don't pay someone to do this for you. It's made specifically so you don't have to pay someone to do it for you. And the only exception being the cost of the class. So if you're going to be taking a Muay Thai, I can tell you about some gyms like Fit Fact is a good one. I go there, right? And they're not paying, but I'm going there now for a minute. I checked on my video. I've been going there for 7 years. Okay. They got a good program. You want to get your Muay Thai on, go with that. Otherwise, just follow the instructions online, get yourself sorted. If you're having a hard time finding information as to like where to go and what to do, what to pay and what the requirements are, just shoot me a message. I have a form, right, that lays out all the details about the DTV, the costs and the requirements and that sort of thing. As I said, I can't help you with it directly, but I can definitely shoot you that form and I'll point you in the right direction and get squared away. Yeah. Okay.
And it is really simple. I have a lot of friends who are on DTV visas and they've done it by themselves.
Yeah, you don't need help with that.
Yeah. So for those of us that are coming and want to start a business here, but they can't get a visa straight away, what kind of visa would you recommend for them to be on?
Okay. So all right. First and foremost, get something that's going to allow you to be here at least 6 months. So the DTV is a nice visa.
Yeah.
Maybe you want an education visa. Maybe you want to learn Muay Thai. Maybe you want to learn the Thai language. There's plenty of academies and schools that will give you that will grant access to the ED visa, the education visa. You can be here for years on that. Although they're just talking about tightening up the restrictions on that, because a lot of people were kind of abusing the ED visa, just to live here forever. So now you might actually have to go to class, right? But it's a good one that will allow you to spend time here and to find out more about what type of business you want to do. And I say 6 months because a lot of people come here and they get excited. They see the low financial barrier to entry, starting up a company, and they want to do it right away. Put some time in, put the work in, do your feasibility study, right? Be here at least 6 months so you know if this is where you want to be and what part of the country you want to be at. And then when you're ready, come talk to us, and then we can help you get your company sorted. But answer your question, something that's going to allow you to be here at least 6 months. Do an ED, do an education visa, but do not do the visa on arrival, right? 30 days and then just pop out to Cambodia and come back, because that's playing roulette, because that's not a guaranteed visa, right? That is the immigration officer has the authority to just deny that, to approve or deny. So if they see you doing that 3, 4, 5 times, they might be like, nah, beat it.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you don't want that. All right. So get legit as soon as possible. Put some time in, put the work in. It'll be well worth it.
Awesome. Yeah. Stay away from border bouncing, y'all. Yeah.
You're doing that. I'm telling y'all.
I'm telling y'all. So another question I get asked a lot is about owning properties here in Thailand. Can foreigners own land? If not, how can they get property, own houses or things of that nature? Can we own condos? How can we go about this? What's your take on this? And do you help with that?
Absolutely. That's our bread and butter. It's something that we do, and it's one of the things we really love. So yes, foreigners can own property here. All right. The easiest and most simplest one is condos on a freehold. Yeah, foreigners can own condos so long as the ratio of foreign ownership in the building is correct. It's no problem. You can own the condo. You can even own it in your name. Now, that said, I wouldn't advise putting it in your name for a number of reasons, profit and tax and that sort of thing. But I can get into that, maximizing your investment here. As far as land, that gets a little more tricky. All right. So under normal circumstances, no, foreigners can't own land. The Thai government is very strict about this. However, there are a number of exceptions, right? So if you're coming here setting up a business, there's what's called a BOI, or Board of Investment promotion, which the government will allot you the ability to not only own your company 100% outright, but to potentially own land depending on what you're going to be doing. So if you're going to be doing some manufacturing, if you have some service that provides that you'll need warehousing or space for, right? You can totally do that, and that is a very worthwhile promotion, because not only does it allow you to own the company outright, to potentially own land, but it gives you great tax incentives. Like you can import for a number of years, 10 years, right, tax free, and it just adds a lot of value to your business. Can they own land in terms of, say, buying land for real estate investment? It gets tricky, and they're making it more difficult, right? But with the correct corporate structure, right, and Thai partnerships, it's doable. It's doable, but that's a conversation that is unique to everyone's situation. So I can't say here's a blanket solution that you just get some preferential shares and you can own it. No. Right, everybody's situation is unique. But if you do want to buy land, if you do want to own property here, let's talk about it, and we see if we can't work out a solution that fits for you, bespoke for each solution.
Okay. Yeah. So then owning a condo is a lot easier. Do they buy it outright, like just with cash? Is there a way that they can? Because I know in the States you have to put a certain amount down.
Right.
Is it like that here?
Financing is very difficult for foreigners here. Financing is very difficult. Generally, most people, foreigners here that buy property, with few exceptions, they're going to pay cash outright. The other ones that don't pay cash outright, they tend to be people that are married to a Thai spouse and they utilize their spouse's credit.
Okay.
But you don't want to play with credit here, by the way. It's not like it is in the States,
Yeah.
right? You mess up on that, they'll come after you. That said, however, we have some solutions for people that are investing in property here, especially if it's towards the higher end. When I say higher end, maybe 750 to the early million, 1.5, 2 million. That includes that. I don't want to get into too much detail,
Yeah.
but basically you can purchase property in Japan. We can help you with that, and then you can take a loan off that property in Japan at a very low interest rate compared to what you get here in the States. So you arbitrage that, and then come over here and use that money to purchase a property here. So the Japanese property pays for itself with because with the rental income, it appreciates. Meanwhile, so the rental income more than pays for the loan and your mortgage back to that. Meanwhile, the property that you want to invest in here, you just take it with the loan and you're good. So it's hard to get financing, but there are ways where you can make the money work for you rather than just dumping in the property here and hope for the best. So we kind of really teach you here how to leverage and make the most of your investment. But we have the offshore elements, so that helps a lot.
Can foreigners get loans here directly, though? Can we build credit?
Yes, but not right away.
Okay.
Right? So the easiest way for foreigners to build credit, and the most common way, is through your work permit. So you come here, you have a company, you work for somebody, you pay your taxes, you get your salary. 6 months to a year, you can approach the bank, and a lot of times the bank approaches you and get yourself a credit card. And I got a couple. You can get them with K Bank, UOB, any of the banks here, and they give you a limit. The apps are really easy to use, and it increases like relatively fast. You can get company credit, but that's a little bit more tricky. It's going to need to be at least a year old. Some banks, they have minimum capital requirements, like registered capital requirements. More than just the 2 million that you would normally have. Okay. And a lot of them want you to be 2 years, and your accounting has to be straight. That's something else we handle here, your accounting. So if you're doing accounting in such a way to really minimize your taxes, you're not showing enough profit, banks might not be as ready to give you corporate credit. So you kind of really have to balance that when you're trying to think how to manage your taxes.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's all. I wanted to keep it nice and simple for us today. So I tend
to go overboard.
No,
I
love
really
it,
get
though.
passionate about that.
No, I do. I love it. This is what you do. So yeah, I will open the floor for any questions that we do have on live. We got over our 5K likes, and we're trying to get to 10K.
All right, congrats.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Hey,
Thanks.
hey. Welcome to Br'Er Rabbit Legal. We have Cleveland here. If you weren't here during the initial interview, Cleveland does pretty much everything, okay? Pretty much everything except for the DTD visas, because it's really easy. You can do that all by yourself. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment and let us know. Double tap. I did want to talk more about last time we talked about setting up a business, and it seemed more so for Americans, like setting up businesses as an American. Are there any type of differences for foreigners? Maybe they're in the UK or they're in Africa. Is the process just as straightforward as it is for Americans, or are there any other not loopholes, but any hurdles that they have to go through?
Actually, it's the same for everyone.
Okay.
The difference is the options you have in terms of special government promotions. Okay. Right? So if an American wants to come here and set up a company, someone from UK, someone from Ghana, from China, wherever it is, the process is the same. Okay. But they just the type of corporate promotions they have available are going to be different. So since you mentioned Americans, everyone knows they have the Treaty of Amity, where it's a Thai government promotion with the US where they can own up to 100% of the shares. But when you start the company, right, the process of first you set up a Thai majority company first, right, with foreign ownership, and then you have to apply for the promotion once the company is set up. So all the requirements of setting up a company are going to be pretty much the same. The only difference is with the shareholders. And it's, again, it looks daunting. There's a lot of paperwork to sign, but that's what we're here for. We take care of that. And it doesn't matter where you're from. We can get you squared away with that.
Okay, that's great.
And we can let you know what sort of promotions you have available. Like, it's not just Americans that have stuff like this. Japanese got them too. And depending on what type of industry you're in, you might have a BOI promotion. Or, so it just really just depends on your individual needs. So I don't like to say a one size fits all. We handle bespoke.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. I remember you talking about earlier different licenses, and I want to know, could I have one company and then have multiple licenses under that company? For example, having an entertainment company or production company, and then hosting events, doing photography. Could I be able to do all of that under one company?
Sure. So the way it works, Joy, so like you set up a company, right? And then when you set up that company, you list the type of activities that company is set up to perform. So, for example, maybe you want like a lounge, so you'll have let's say Joy's Entertainment Limited.
Okay.
Right. For example, right.
Yeah.
So under the activities, you'll have restaurant, serving food, entertainment, serving bar and nightclub, drinks. You might have photography. You might have, let's say, heck, you might even, you might have import export if you want to bring in certain products, for example, like, because let's say, for example, you want to bring in alcohol, like you want to import something, so you'll need, you can put import export. Now, just because you put the activities, just because you list the activities during the company formation process doesn't give you the right to actually do that. A lot of these activities require separate licenses. So, but you need both. So you start the company with the activities you need. Right, and then you go ahead and get the licenses for that. Right, but yes, one company can do many different things.
I like that. I like that, because then I don't have to set up multiple companies.
But here's the thing: is that the best tax strategy for you, though? Right. So it might be that you want to have separate companies. Right. For depending on your invoicing strategy, or if you want one company to hold property, right. Or you want to develop credit for one, right? And you're not worried about losses on the other. So again, you can, but it's good to double check to make sure if you should. Gotta look at the whole picture.
But that's what you're here for, right?
Exactly. So we don't just set up the company for you. I really want to know what you want to do. I need to understand what your business plan is, your vision is, and then we just help you put everything together in a way that's going to make sense, make you the most money, and minimize your tax.
Great.
And keep you legit.
For someone like me, I don't want to do all of that. So it's great to have you here to think about all of the tax strategies and everything that's needed to keep me in compliance with Thai law.
That's right. We don't want problems.
We don't want any problems.
No problems with government. We're good citizens. Right?
And I'm glad you mentioned about the visas, about the ED visa in particular, and people getting on it and not actually doing what the visa says, because Thai immigration is locking down. See, like,
they mad.
Thai people are, like I say in all of my videos, Thai people are very non-confrontational. They're very sabai-sabai. They're easygoing. But if you try to get one over on them, wrong answer. Wrong answer.
Please don't.
You don't want the smoke. I'm telling you.
At all.
I'm telling you. So please, comply with Thai laws. If you don't know what to do or the right way to go about things, you can hit up Cleveland at Br'Er Legal Advisory. He can show you the ropes, and he can give you, you can follow him on Instagram, on TikTok at Br'Er Advisory, where he will share some tips. He has some things for y'all coming as well. He'll do his lives, all the things. All right. So make sure y'all go follow him. All right. Follow him, like, comment, and share. All right. All right, y'all, we're back.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
Hey, Ash. Oh, all right. Thank you so much. Now I knew her win. That's so funny. I appreciate y'all for being on the live. Double tap and like, and let's get some more questions for Cleveland.
Hey.
Yeah, we're back.
I appreciate y'all being up so late for those of y'all in the States.
Yeah. Right. Oh, and the roses. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Ash. We answered a few questions. We talked about setting up a company a little bit. Talk about the DTV, that you don't need an agency to do it, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about building your credit as a foreigner here. It is possible. Citizenship, that came up. But that came up on live. And what else did we talk about? We talked about owning property. Right. In Thailand. Yeah, that's a big one. I get asked that a lot. Yeah. And real estate as well, actually.
A lot of people do that wrong.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that wrong.
Really?
Yeah. People come here and they jump into the market too quick, or they come here with really good real estate experience from the States or from the UK or wherever they're from, and they make the mistake of thinking that the market here is the same, right? And really, it's not. You know, houses and condos appreciate much differently, right? They're very even viewed upon much differently here than they are, you know, in other countries. And depending on who your resale market is, they're going to act. They're going to treat it differently as well. But yeah. A lot of times, too, people will just buy it in their name and not think about an exit strategy or their taxes for rental agreements.
Yeah, the issues with buying it in your name and the exit strategy. What's that about?
Okay, so it depends on what you're buying it for. So if you're buying a place here just because you want to live here, you love it, you're going to be here for a long time, maybe it's just, when I say just, I mean it's not like it's a little bit of money, but like relatively speaking. So maybe if it's like a couple million baht or something like that.
Prince is saying the number he gave was 70,000 USD.
Yeah, so that's like a couple million a baht. So you figure that's just over 2 mil, I think, right? Yeah, something like that. And you want to live here, fine. Yeah, go ahead and put that in your name. However, if you're looking at purchasing property here as an investment, whether it's for rental income, whether you're looking at the short-term investment, especially if you're looking at Airbnb, right?
That's another thing we probably should have talked about.
Don't get caught up the wrong way with that. They have no sense of humor about that in condos right now, but that's a whole nother story. But so if you're doing it for an investment, right, you want to think about how you're going to handle the rental income tax-wise, and then also, what's your exit strategy? Are you looking at selling it maybe 5 years, 8 years, you know, making a profit from the appreciation? If you just buy that in your name, right, you have nothing to offset the taxes, and the rental income taxes are high. Capital gains taxes are high. And if it's just in your name, there's very little you can write off. However, you own it in a company name, right? You have more things to write off. You might want to consider breaking up the rent. Maybe you provide a service, right? For example, we can get into that more later. The other thing is when you want to sell it, right? One of the things we do for people who are purchasing properties that are a bit more expensive. So I wouldn't suggest this for a $70,000 property, but for maybe 150, 250,000 plus, right? Property.
Yeah.
What you do is, as opposed to holding it in your name, you hold the property in a Thai company name, and the Thai company, as opposed to you holding the shares personally in that Thai company, you have an offshore company that holds your shares for you. You own the offshore company. Okay, the offshore company owns the shares in the Thai company. When it comes time to sell, right? Maybe you have a Thai shareholder, for example, right? So and you have the other, right? You sell the shares, the Thai shares here, right? You pay your taxes on it, but you have an offshore sale for the offshore company. Say you're holding it in a Hong Kong company's name or a Belize company's name, right? You actually sell the offshore company, right?
Okay.
And that's where the transaction occurs. So the shareholder in Thailand doesn't change, right? It's your holding company still holding those shares. So there's been no transfer of ownership. However, the owner of the company that owns the shares, that changes, right? So like in simple terms, right? So like if this is your property, right? This is the Hong Kong company that owns the shares in this property, right? And you own the Hong Kong company. So as opposed to selling this here in Thailand and paying, crazy amounts for your capital gains tax, you just sell the Hong Kong company, right? The owner of the property itself doesn't change in Thailand. The person who is purchasing your property, they just purchase a Hong Kong company and they get the property and control of it, right? And then you handle it just like that.
Oh.
And that's oversimplified. There's a lot more moving pieces to that, and there's other companies that may work better as a holding, but that's one of the things.
Yeah, awesome. I have someone asking about renting from Airbnb. You guys know I always say don't Airbnb here. They're locking down on that. They're locking down on Airbnbs. All right. Fine. So download the app RentHub. RentHub, they have a lot of property managers that they own an entire building. Okay. And they're allowed to rent out places for short-term stays because they have licenses, like hotel licenses. So they can rent out short-term stays. Do not stay at an Airbnb. Okay. Police could knock on your door. And what you gonna do? Yeah.
I mean, you can call me.
Yeah.
I got criminal lawyers now. They're not gonna lock you up or anything. But it's just you just don't want to be in an issue. And really and truly, it's not so much you, but it's going to go to that property owner, and it could just be drama that could ruin your vacation. You didn't come here to deal with that, right?
Yeah.
But buyer beware. I will say it's safer to stay in one than to rent out one. Yeah. And again, I'm talking about condos.
Yeah.
If you own a house,
it's different.
Yeah, stay here, good Airbnb all day, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you own a condo, then you got problems.
Yeah.
The other thing is too, if you're going to rent here long term, right, and you're paying more than like 50,000 baht, it's good to have that lease agreement checked out before you sign
50,000 baht? Now they know on my live. I don't agree with that.
No, I mean, well, it depends on what you're getting. Yeah, if you want some luxury, right? Villa. If you want like a 3-bedroom in a nice condo, you can spend 150,000 easy.
My sister had a villa, pool, 3-bedroom, 5-bathroom, beautiful big kitchen, oven, and that was 32,000 baht. Where? In Pattaya. No, that is cheaper than Bangkok, I will say.
Okay.
It is cheaper than Bangkok, yeah.
Yeah, Pattaya. That's a whole nother
I love
story.
how he says it, y'all. So I'm not the only one. Sometimes they be getting on me for how I say Pattaya, because that's how we used to say it back in the day. It was Pattaya. Now all of a sudden people are like, it's Pattaya.
Well, just because they say it wrong, ain't mean I got it.
Right? That is wrong. Thank you. Someone to listen, it is Pattaya. Now y'all know. Know. There's no Thai in the name. It's not Pattaya. Okay.
Right. But I mean, but the truth of the thing is, yeah, you don't have to pay 50 at all. You can get a lot of great property, big property places here for much less than that. But you can't always get it in the location you want. Yeah. So if you want something prime in a prime location that isn't just touristy, but maybe locals like it too, you can spend real money. And let me tell you, in Bangkok and in Phuket, there are plenty. And I mean plenty of places you can rent for well over 50,000 or 150,000.
But can we talk about the economy shift? Prices weren't that expensive. They were pricey, like if you wanted to stay in like resort style areas. Mm-hmm. But even in Bangkok, how inflated the prices are now, and I contribute that to tourism and people coming over here not really knowing how much things should cost, and also the fact that it's not necessarily Thai people that are buying out these condos and renting them for these prices. It's foreigners, it's Asian foreigners coming out here getting these domestic
Chinese. I mean,
yeah, and they're renting out these properties for 30,000 plus 1 bedrooms, and it's ridiculous. So, can we like talk about that economy shift? Like, what have you seen so far? Because y'all, he's an OG. He's been here for 20 plus years, and he knows. He knows. So, yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's pretty much as you said, and it happens a lot of places. Like London's a good example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of people from the UK that speak to this much better than I can. But basically, people come here, they buy the condos for investment,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in some cases, right, like not to harp on the Chinese at all, but a lot of them, they have difficulty getting money outside the country, and purchasing property, holding is a good vessel to hold in investments here. So they just buy them, and it's less. In a lot of cases, it's less about turning a profit from the rent as it is just to have it and rent it out. So if people pay the amount, they pay it. They don't. They don't.
That happens a lot.
They're okay with that.
They don't care.
Right. Yeah. But either way, if you're gonna have a property out here, you're gonna rent for more than 50,000, get that lease agreement looked at, and that's one of the things we can review your contract to make sure that they're not putting anything in there that's illegal. It's going to catch up with you. That they're charging you more for security, down payments, that sort of thing. They need to. It doesn't take long to take a look at it. It can save you a lot.
I once had a property put in the lease that they wanted the tenant to pay for taxes, for property taxes. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, not that property taxes are that expensive, but it's a principle.
Yeah.
No.
It's not my property.
No.
I'm a...
Or like maintenance fees or something like that. You know, sometimes in a condo, like they try and get you and pay the maintenance fee. No, you paying the rent. Pay the rent.
Yeah.
It's the owner's responsibility to pay the maintenance fee. And that's the other thing. Maybe one day you'll be an owner, right? You'll get a condo here, and you're going to want to be able to lease to somebody and make sure you have a contract that protects you, right? And doesn't leave you with somebody who can't get out of the doesn't want to get out of the property. We can draft the lease agreements there for you, rental agreements as well.
Prince, I need clarity on your question. You're asking if you meet someone who isn't Thai, but they've lived there for years, and you have a baby with them. If the person is neither one of you or the baby is Thai, so it doesn't matter how long you've been here.
Yeah. What's the question?
Yeah,
it happens all the time. You just go to your embassy and get for the States, it's called a consular report of birth abroad. It's basically a birth certificate. Yeah, birth certificate. Yeah. Right. So you'll take the paperwork from the hospital, right, with you and the mother's name on it, with both your IDs, and you'll go to your respective embassies, assuming you're from different countries, and they'll give you your consular report of birth abroad, and you're good to go. Yeah.
So Ajin says that you look like Christopher Jackson. Do you know who that is? In George Washington and Hamilton. Did you see that movie?
No, I mean I've heard about that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Seen it either.
Like I hope that. I hope it's a couple.
I'm sure it is. Can everyone go ahead and follow? I'm gonna comment and pin the comment because we're gonna end the live soon. Here, actually, it's no apostrophe. Yeah. Br'Er Rabbit Advisory. If you have any questions, you can they DM you?
Yeah, of course. Okay. And it's Br'Er Rabbit.
Yeah.
Right. It's old South, down south from the States slang. It means brother, like brother rabbit. Right, so think of me as your big brother out here, right, or a little brother, depending on how old you guys are. Like I'm pushing 50, I'll be 50. So if you're older, I can be a little brother. It's cool, but we take care of you.
Yeah, 100%. So make sure y'all go follow him. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot him his way. I always got you as well. So if you have any questions for me, I can answer to the best of my ability. Send you over to him. So. I love all the info. I'm so glad that you love it. I'm glad that
I love y'all.
Black lawyer in Thailand. I'm telling you. He's from Philly. All right. I'm gonna message him, tell him to be ready. Okay, but
all right.
Message him with serious inquiries only, okay? If y'all got any basic questions, you can DM me and I will answer them. But if you're for real, if you're serious, if you're for real, then go ahead and hit him up, okay? I have a question. I'm responsible for offering a work visa for my nanny.
Are you responsible for offering a work visa for your nanny? Yeah. So if they're not Thai, yeah. So if they're Filipino or Malaysian, they can, or excuse me, like Myanmar, Burmese, whatever, they can get in here generally a lot easier.
Yeah.
Right. Because they have like an ASEAN, special rules for them, as far as their visas. Mm-hmm. But you still need to be able to provide a work permit for them, which would be a company. So now, the way most people get around that is they hire a maid through like an agency, right? And then the agency's responsibility, for that. So you just basically pay the agency, and the agency is responsible for hiring. Yeah.
Can't they also get the nanny a dependent visa, so they can get attached to their visa?
You know what? That's a good question. You're the first person that has asked me that, right? So I would have to check up on that and see if you can get a dependent visa for your nanny. I think it would depend on the type of visa you're here on. So if you have a work visa, whether or not your nanny can apply to that. But I would really appreciate it if you could reach out to me, and I'll make sure I research that and get back to you, because I want to know too.
Yeah. So this is Ahari.
I would love to bring a Filipino.
Yeah, Ahari. Go ahead and send him a DM so he can follow up with you.
Yeah, please do.
And Debbie is asking about the financial requirement for retirement visa. I know you asked about this earlier as far as like, can you be on one? The minimum age requirement is 50. So if you are 50, then yeah, you can go ahead and be on that visa. And the financial requirement is?
Yeah, I think it's around 800,000 Thai baht, which is like maybe, I don't know, like $20-some thousand within the bank account, or you can have a pension, right? Mm-hmm. Or like Social Security from the government. I believe it needs to be more than 50,000 or 60,000 Thai baht. So basically, if you have a pension that's like $1,500, $1,800 a month or so, you're fine. And it's not both. It's not 800,000 Thai baht in the bank and 50 or 60,000 baht. It's either or.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And you're not taxed on that.
Yeah. So they trying to make sure I'm not a bot. Hold on. Which of these objects sails on water?
Really?
Yeah.
How do they do that while you lie?
Yep. They do it while I'm lying.
That is nuts, bro. I did not know that.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. So you have a pension. Okay. Mm-hmm. Awesome. If we don't have any more questions, I would love for us to get to 10K. I would love for us to double tap and get to 10K. But if we can't, by the time we get off of here, that is okay. I appreciate you so much for joining the live Q&A with Br'Er Legal Advisory. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for all the likes, all the gifts. Yes, taxes. I'll be paying Thai taxes. Will I have to pay for her as well, right? The nanny?
If you are hiring her, yeah. Right. But again, if you go through the agency, right, it's their responsibility.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people do it informally here. Right.
Yeah.
I can't say that you should do that. Yeah. I would just say a lot of people.
He can't say it.
Yeah.
I can say it. So I will tell y'all.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I mean, it happens. Right. But yeah.
Yeah, it happens. I'll tell y'all another live. We don't need the legal on the live, because we need to do it legally. Yeah. All right, get the visa for your nannies. Okay, U.S. taxes. Okay, do you have to pay Thai taxes and U.S. taxes?
No, U.S. and Thailand have a double taxation agreement.
Okay.
And really and truly, depending on how much you make and how long you've lived outside the States, if you're American, there's something called foreign earned income exclusion, right? So as long as you've been outside of the States, I believe it's 330 days within a calendar year, and you make less than a threshold amount. So I think it's somewhere in the early 100s, like 120, 115, something like that. You make less than that, you don't pay taxes. Now you need to file taxes, you file it, but you only pay taxes on anything above that threshold amount. So you file taxes and they give you money.
right?
And then you just pay your tax here.
Awesome. So you don't have to pay twice. You just have to file. Someone is asking about taking the bar exam here to practice here.
Oh, that's a good question. So if you want to be a Thai lawyer, right, you'd have to, of course, take it in Thai. You'd have to speak the language, speak, read, and write it, and go to school for it. Have your degree, and follow up with it here. Now, do I know foreign lawyer? I know of one, right? He's a foreigner, and he is a Thai lawyer on the Thai bar here, but he's also a Thai citizen. He's been here that long, right? That he's actually got the citizenship. Thing is, here in Thailand, though, you don't have to have
have like a license, right? Like, or
no. I mean, like, you don't have to pass the bar here to have a law firm. However, you do need to hire a lawyer that has, right, and that lawyer will help you to obtain the license. So the license, so if you have a company here, like a law firm, that license is tied to a lawyer here, a Thai lawyer that has passed the bar.
Yeah. Awesome.
So you don't need to have done it to have the license for it. Yeah.
I hope that answers your question pretty-esque. I hope I said that right. Amy, so if I own rental property in Thailand, how does taxes work in America?
Right. So this is still income, right? That you're this still income that you're earning, right? And I believe it would still fall under your foreign earned income exclusion. Again, it's about that threshold and how long you've been outside the country.
Okay.
Right. A lot of people mess up. They go back to the States for more than a month. It's not a long time. Right. And then you're responsible for the taxes in full. So it's a very strict cutoff. Right. And when you set up bank accounts here as an American, it's harder for us. Only Americans. Right.
Wow.
Every bank we set up, every bank account in our name we set up, they have like fat cut reporting. Basically, the banks here have to report to IRS when they get an American citizen. So, don't think they don't know about your account. so yeah, just keep that in mind. But if you have any specific questions like that for like how much rental income you're considering, if you have property in the States, other forms of income, by all means, just shoot us a message. We'll get you squared away.
Awesome. We'll take one more question, then we have to go. Amy, you're asking about, can you go to other countries besides the United States and still meet that requirement?
Yes, just don't go to the States.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter where you go. You just can't go back there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
All right. I feel like that was the last question. I feel like if we don't get one in the next 2 minutes, I think we're going to cut it off. You can introduce yourself or do an outro, I guess, like just let people know again, because we have new people coming in constantly. They don't know what we're doing.
Oh, okay.
Or who you are.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you for the roses also, Prince. Kapkan Kara.
Okay. So just to recap, I'm Cleveland English. I'm the director of Br'Er Legal here in Thailand and Br'Er Advisory. It's offshore advisory. We specialize in setting up companies and corporate structures for people that have their businesses here overseas. They own property here, and tying it into their corporate structure for tax minimization and expanding globally, making the most out of your investment and doing so legally. Here in Thailand, we have a corporate law firm, right? So we can set up your company, get the licenses you need, provide feasibility consulting, make sure you're setting up right, and without spending more than you need to. And then offshore, we can set up companies for holding, for trading, for investments, for purchasing property, for family planning, like estate planning, basically. And offshore banking. Offshore banking and private banking too. So not just banking in your name, but in your company's name. So
awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I do see you here, the Great Purple Mon. I'm so sorry we missed your question. I guess there was a lot just coming in, but you can go ahead and DM him personally. He will answer your questions, okay? We're going to head off. We're going to sign out, but thank you all again for joining. Bye. Bye. สวัสดีค่ะ
See ya.